Good morning, all. Suburban Sentinel here, coming to you once again from very deep inside the Arabian Peninsula. And I figure I'll make this video while I'm giving some supervised visitation to those 3 orphan kittens. We are integrating them into the little cat society outside my office building. We took them out of that bombed out building that they've been in since they were a couple of weeks old, and thank God so far so good. They seem to be getting along with the other cats pretty well. I think they're a little young for this, but I think we really had no choice. This place is much, much safer than the place they were in, and it was time. Anyway, I received a question, and that question from one of the subscribers was, what is or was the scariest time you've had out there so far? And by far, the situation that put me in in great fear was something that happened. We were only here about 2 weeks, and my wife has a job here, and her employer, along with a couple other new employees, had scheduled them to visit a facility for them to fill out some paperwork. So it was my wife and 2 other women, and they hired one of the drivers, one of the school sanctioned drivers, to take them to this facility. And I didn't really have too much concern about it. But when they arrived at the facility, my wife was detained by the police. And I won't go into all the gory details, but needless to say, she did not do anything wrong. She was 110% legal, well within the bounds of the laws and customs. Basically, the officer who started all this did not know what he was doing. And I get a phone call, oh yeah, your wife has been arrested. Now, I'm in a hotel. I really don't know where I am. At that point, I did not have a car. I did not even have a driver's license. So I was very freaked out. But as it turned out, everything was fine. She called, instead of calling me, which was a smart thing to do because I would have been flipping. I didn't even know where this facility is. I had no idea where it was, how to get there, anything, even if I did have a car or stole a car or whatever. But she called a friend who knew somebody who went down there immediately. And to make a very long story short, she was released unharmed, shaken, but unharmed. And this police officer, quote unquote, within fairly short order, within a few days, had his ass handed to him and was transferred to a place that you do not want to be. But that was, I think, the time I was most afraid. And it's kind of relevant right now. At the moment, I'm basically here on my own. My wife is back in the U.S., and all the people I know who could help with a situation like that are out of country. And so I'm really here by myself. If something goes wrong, it's kind of yan yon time. Now, I'm a fairly resourceful guy, but just shit happens. I mean, you never know. Yesterday, the key fob on my car died, the battery died, and that's really no big deal. But if I didn't have the spare fob or know how to get around it to start the car, I could have been in a little bit of trouble. You just never know. There's some kind of wasp-like thing here that you see fairly frequently. And if you're stung by one of these things, it can be really, really bad. Some people die of it. a lot of people just go unconscious, and you really need professional medical care. And if that happens to me, and I see these things flying around, now and then, I could call the number for the ambulance, but I really can't talk to them, and I probably couldn't tell them where I was. So it's just stuff like that. Right now, I'm really uneasy. I'm not a paranoid type, but in this environment, in these circumstances, I'm really uneasy. And I guess this, what is it? I forget, the acute paranoia or whatever the psychological term is. But I'm always looking over my shoulder. Even you guys might be out to get me. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for the morning. Suburban Sentinel, I'm out. You guys behave.